Hopeless illusion. Hopeless illusion. You're a trip giving me hopeless illusion. Hopeless illusion.
Hey guys, David here, and welcome to the Chevy Cobalt SS, one of the most peculiar cars Chevy has ever made. It is very rainy outside, but thankfully this is front-wheel drive, and thankfully it'll be manageable. The Cobalt SS in a lot of ways to me is the spiritual successor of the Dodge Neon SRT4. Are they different car companies? Yes, but the philosophy is very similar. It's an American-ish tuner car that capitalized on the 4-cylinder turbo wave. Now, the Cobalt SS, though, in a lot of ways, I think, is a better car. Now, the Dodge Neon SRT4, I think, has a little bit more of a cool factor behind it. The Cobalt SS we know of today had two main versions. Now, the first one was an Eaton supercharged 4-cylinder. Now, the supercharged version was a lot of fun to drive, but it usually isn't the one that people remember. Now, what's funny is Chevy's contract with Eaton actually expired. So that's why they moved on to the turbocharger. See, for me, I always thought it was just a natural progression thing. Like the engineers were like, we gotta go turbo. We'll get more power out of it. But it was mostly out of necessity to keep the forced induction around for the Cobalt SS. This one, though, is the turbocharged version. Now, the turbocharged version made 260 horsepower and 260 foot-pounds of torque. That is a big jump from the supercharged version. Now, this one actually makes about 310 wheel horsepower. It has some goodies from ZZPerformance, a fantastic company if you're in the eco-tech realm of performance. Also, check out this massive e-brake. This thing is huge. Before we drive this awesome Cobalt SS, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's sponsor, Tiege Hanley. They've helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making it incredibly uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare routine for guys like you and me. I actually recommend that you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of all the dirt and grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that as soon as you open the box, it comes with this instruction card that tells you how and when to use each product. Things such as how much to use and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Their products have made my skin look and feel better than ever, but you don't have to take just my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping and low-cost shipping to most other countries. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. So don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. Just a little bit of backstory about the first time I knew the Cobalt SS was a force to be reckoned with. Back when I lived in Virginia Beach, I would go to this car meet all the time called Genro's, and this red Cobalt SS that looked just like this would come in and just ruin a lot of people's day. Essentially, back then, almost everything in the performance world ran 13-second quarter miles like the muscle cars did, everybody did. So if you had a muscle car, a lot of the times, like a Mustang or a Camaro, the red Cobalt SS would be door to door with it for a second, and then the very top end power to weight would kick in and start pulling on it. Now from a dig, it's a little bit different of a story. The Cobalt SS ran a 13.9 quarter mile, but from a roll, this thing was an absolute monster for the time. Ooh, torque steer that time. Holy smokes. Had to avoid debris. And at the time, the Cobalt SS, believe it or not, was the fastest front-wheel drive car in production. So this weird niche Chevy that came out kind of out of the blue in their little compact economy car. Of course, other cars like the Civic Type R have beaten that by a long shot, but we're talking over 10 years ago. Now, the Cobalt SS is a very divisive car when it comes to the looks, but honestly, I kind of dig the back a lot with the wing and the circular taillights, kind of Corvette inspired in a way, which is funny because the C6 Corvette and the Cobalt SS share the same steering wheel, if you didn't know. Yeah, GM interiors, not the greatest in the 2000s. Now, this has a 5-speed manual transmission. The 2-liter Ecotec comes on super hard. I mean, the turbo spool is extremely fast, the power band is extremely usable, and I'll be honest with you, this is one of the most slept on performance cars somebody could buy. And the reason I say that is because you could buy these, especially before, you know, the world ended, you could buy these for like $5,000 in the used market if it was high mileage. But you could totally find one of these, put some bolt-ons on it, and hurt some serious feelings. In the Cobalt SS definitely feels more ferocious than, say, a Mazda Speed 3's engine as well as a comparison. I know that's a weird comparison, but you know, think about the same price range at the time. The Cobalt itself wasn't that great of a car as a commuter car, but the SS really sticks out because this was also during the time where Chevy was kind of throwing darts at a board to kind of figure out what works and what didn't work, and I appreciate that. I love it when a car company experiments with different formulas. The Trailblazer SS, the Cobalt SS, the HHR SS, the Impala SS that was front-wheel drive with a V8. Super peculiar stuff. Also, the Ecotec has a much deeper tone than most 4-cylinders. So you don't get that raspy, high-pitched beehive-ness, right, from a lot of 4-cylinders with an exhaust. And this has some nice burbles on it as well when you just kind of let off the gas. Also, I want to point out, I really like the seats in the Cobalt SS. These seats feel fantastic, and they keep me in place, but they're not back-breaking. Handling-wise, this car actually did like an 8-minute Nürburgring time. I think it was like 8 minutes and 22 seconds, somewhere around there. And I think that's fascinating that this little economy car was able to pull that off. Whoa! You get a lot of turbo noise too. That's a nice touch. A lot of the times with these smaller turbo cars from the factory, you don't get a lot of turbo or blow-off noise. This, you get quite a bit. The way the power comes on the Cobalt SS, it feels like a little bit more modern version of the SRT4, but the handling definitely feels superior, in my opinion. Brembo brakes that were absolutely massive for this little tiny car. Woo! Got a little bit of traction there. Road is drying up a little bit. Third gear takes you to a very high number. I was right. Woo! A little bit of that torque steer in third gear. The Cobalt SS also feels light. It feels nimble, and it feels like it does what you want it to do. The torque steer adds a little bit of excitement, but you do need to be a little bit careful, especially in the situation I'm in today in the rain. Now let's talk about reliability. If you take care of them, they're fairly reliable tuner cars, but a few of them had some timing chain issues and stuff like that. I just think it's such a bargain of a performance car and get for, god dang, this thing's quick. That's all his tools on the back. Always good to have your tools in the back during a car review. There was also the Saturn Ion Redline, which was a Cobalt SS as well, basically in a different skin, but it was the supercharged version. The Cobalt SS is actually a car that wasn't rare to obtain, but it seems like it's rare today. You can go almost anywhere and you can see, you know, an exotic or whatever. But it's actually very hard to find a Cobalt SS in decent condition, because a lot of people did try to tune them out to oblivion. But if you do downpipe and tune and some bolt-ons from ZZPerformance, like, it just wakes this thing up. It's incredible. Yo, this thing is quick. Third gear in this thing, it starts to freight train super hard. That is also why in a roll race, this thing can really hold its own against a ton of different cars. Because first and second gear might not be with its competitor, but third gear will really start reeling it out. Just roasting. Oh, it just said on the screen, low traction. Yeah. Dude, yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having a ton of fun in this thing. Ooh-wee. Seen in your rearview mirror the big wing. Like, this thing, I feel like would absolutely annihilate a WRX. Like, it wouldn't even be a race. Like, that's what it feels like. Of the time, this thing would absolutely destroy stuff like that. It's fun to just let her eat sometimes. The steering ratio is very quick, so it doesn't feel really numb or like something's missing. And even though the steering wheel is notorious for being the Cobalt steering wheel in the Corvette, it feels good in your hand. It doesn't feel expensive or nice or anything, but it feels really nice in your hand. You have a real nice grip. I would have one of these over at SRT4, not even kidding. If I was looking for like a budget turbo car, definitely look into these. I forgot how fun this thing was. One of the biggest selling points of this car to me is that it comes with a limited slip differential. And for the pricing of this car, that's amazing. In the year it came out, the fact it came with a LSD with this kind of power and everything is fantastic. It's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of cars today that charge 10 grand for a limited slip differential. You probably know who I'm talking about. I think that's great that they're like, look, this car just can't exist without one, right? It just can't happen. And these reactions, this is more so my reaction to, have I driven faster cars? Yes, but for the money, there's not a lot of stuff this fast. Think about the cars out in the used market today that are so overpriced for the power per dollar. This one, even though it's front wheel drive, it kind of suits the car and it kind of suits the personality. On that note, what do you guys think about the Cobalt SS Turbo? Now, is it gonna blow your socks off if you have something a little bit more expensive or something else? Maybe not, but in my opinion, this is probably my favorite of the American four-banger tuner cars when it comes to single turbo, four-cylinder. And on that note, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Once again, thank you so much to Tees Hanley for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to click in the link in the description below for 30% off your first box plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal and click that link and get started today.